Okay, so we are going to be talking about same-sex marriage in Spanish-speaking countries. We're going to be talking about 3 countries to be specific, and the first of those 3 countries is Mexico. Same-sex marriage is legal in some places in Mexico. It's not nationwide. The first civil union bill was introduced in 2001, and it was adopted in Mexico City in 2006. In 2009, marriage equality was finally legalized in Mexico City, making same-sex marriage legal there. In 2010, the Mexican Supreme Court ruled that marriages gotten in Mexico City by same-sex couples were valid and had to be recognized by the rest of the country, even if that was the only place at the time where a same-sex couple could get married. You would think that being with how religious Mexico is, a lot of Catholics there, and Catholics are usually not fans of same-sex marriage, that Mexico would not support same-sex marriage. But on the contrary, they have been very supportive of it. And since same-sex marriage was legalized in Mexico City, 3 other states, Quintana Roo, Coahuila, and Chihuahua, have all legalized same-sex marriage in 2011, 2014, and 2015, respectively. And with these states legalizing it, and other countries in Latin America legalizing same-sex marriage, it's not crazy to think that nationwide legalization is just around the corner. The next country we're going to be talking about is that of Colombia. Colombia ruled that same-sex marriage was legal on October 28th, 2016. Their ruling was nationwide, and in the years leading up to that, they had decided that same-sex couples were allowed to get civil unions, but they still were not technically married in the eyes of the state. There was a court ruling in 2011 that stated that same-sex couples were to be treated as families, and that Congress had until 2013 to pass a bill that gave same-sex couples all the same rights as their heterosexual counterparts. But due to some vague language in the original ruling, this never happened, and the best that same-sex couples were allowed were the civil unions that they could get, or these things called solemn contracts that were similar, but still they weren't married in the eyes of the state. But that is irrelevant due to the fact that they did legalize it nationwide, so there you go. And they became the 4th country in Latin America to nationally legalize same-sex marriage, following in the footsteps of Argentina, Brazil, and Uruguay, who legalized in 2010 and 2013, respectively. The next country we're going to be talking about is that of Spain. And Spain legalized same-sex marriage much sooner than these other countries did, legalizing it on June 30th, 2005. And at the time, they were only the 3rd country in the world to have legalized same-sex marriage, with the first 2 being the Netherlands and Belgium. Just like in Mexico and Colombia, with how many Catholics are in Spain, you would think that they would not like same-sex marriage. But there was not really that much pushback. At the time of legalization, 66% of the country supported the legalization. So that's a good thing. But not everybody did. And in the time since that's happened, homosexuals have become the biggest target for hate crimes in the country. So that just goes to show that even still there is room for improvement. I mean, Spain was and is a world leader in same-sex rights, but some people there still need to improve on how they treat their homosexual citizens. And now it's time for questions. ¿Cierto o falso? Número 1. El matrimonio homosexual es ilegal en España. Número 2. El matrimonio homosexual es legal en la Ciudad de México. Número 3. El matrimonio homosexual fue instalado en Colombia en abril 2016. Opción múltiple. Número 1. ¿Quién protestan el matrimonio homosexual en España? A. Congreso. B. La Católica Iglesia. C. Los perros. D. Los hombres de España. Número 2. ¿Quién es el primer país a instalar el matrimonio homosexual nacionalmente en Hispanoamérica? A. Argentina. B. Estados Unidos. C. Francia. D. España. Número 3. ¿Cuándo el matrimonio homosexual hace legal en España? A. Octubre 22, 2007. B. Mayo 4, 2009. C. Agosto 4, 2016. D. Junio 30, 2005. Abierto fin. ¿Cómo tú crees sobre el matrimonio homosexual?